Two Kiwi brothers are helping to combat the extensive bushfires in Victoria, Australia, from the air. One of them is another guest this week, and he popped into the studio just before heading back over on another mission.
My name's Henry Phelps. I'm a commercial pilot currently based in New Zealand and Melbourne, Australia. I was brought up on the cropping and sheep farm and now pivoted into a commercial fixed-wing flying role. Growing up on the farm, we'd have a lot of spray helicopters coming in to do our crops. And I spent a lot of time in those Hughes 500s as a kid, and I just really loved it. And I feel like that's kind of where it sparked the interest.
So you can fly both fixed wing and helicopters?
No. Yeah, eventually that would definitely be something I'd be very interested in doing. But at the moment I just fly the fixed wings, the planes.
And small ones?
And small, yes, that's correct. Yeah, so currently flying a Pilatus PC-12 NG and a Cessna Grand Caravan. So yeah, seats around 9 to 13 passengers per plane.
You were ferrying tourists at one point, weren't you, doing a bit of wilderness flying? Tell us about that job.
That was a very incredible job based out of Queenstown. Yeah, the role was just taking tourists from Queenstown to Milford Sound and up to Mount Cook and also to Franz Josef's. Yeah, that was an incredibly special job, being able to fly through Fiordland and the magical mountains down there.
Amazing landscapes.
Oh, absolutely incredible.
Pretty rugged flying, I imagine.
Yeah, very rugged. Yeah, a lot of it comes down to the weather. It's a very tricky place to fly, more because the weather changes so much. As a lot of people may know, the West Coast and more specifically Fiordland, the weather changes in a split second. So that is definitely a big part of the challenge. And also with the high terrain, just being very aware of having exit strategies and knowing what you can and can't do and knowing what the aircraft capability is as well.
Tell us about this aerial surveillance work that you're doing with the bushfires over in Australia.
Yes, so currently I'm operating the Pilatus PC-12 based over in Victoria in Melbourne. And so, yeah, all that role consists of is flying over these wildfires in Victoria and gathering real-time intelligence and sending that to the ground crews in terms of mapping the fires and getting a good grasp of the size of them, the hot spots, and where best to attack from the ground in terms of to get ahead.
How does it actually work? What are you doing? What's the intelligence you're providing?
Yeah, so I'm operating the aircraft to the fires, and then there is a operator in the rear of the plane who conducts the operation with the camera, which is fixed to the aircraft. And they draw out the plan in terms of where the fires are and knowing which routes to fly over the fires at a specific altitude and the wind, etc. And so, that camera just takes a snapshot of the fire and then it pieces it together and then that is, instantly sent down to the ground operations. It's pretty incredible to see the maps come to life, especially once you've flown the routes and then you see, so this fire may, because of the westerly, may be moving more so to the east, and so you see the outlines grow, and for us as fire scanners to see it in real time, then once you're finished and see it on the emergency app, it gives you a pretty rewarding sense of this is actually pretty cool.
So it's not just you, Henry. There's another family member involved here. You have a brother. Tell us what he's doing.
Yeah, so my brother Edward is also based at the same company that I am. And he's on the Squirrel helicopter, the B3E, and they're doing aerial intelligence as well, but from a much lower altitude. So, he's much lower, right up next to the fire, and I'm up above him, just a more of an overwatch position. So, it's pretty amazing to be able to work together. And there was one specific time where we were both on the same fire in the middle of Victoria, and it was just us two on it and talking together, and that was pretty special for me. Yeah, more often than not, we're there on the same shifts in terms of the same time. So quite often we're just sitting there waiting for the call. And so, yeah, we have a 30-minute call out. So from when we get the call, we have to be airborne within that 30 minutes. So, yeah, a lot of it is waiting around, but it's definitely all go when you get that call.
Tell us about what a bushfire looks like from the air.
So it's because we're at such a high altitude, it's really hard to get a proper grasp of the sheer scale of it. But as soon as that fire grows, you can see the smoke obviously lifting up into the atmosphere and the smoke spreading, for miles, hundreds and hundreds of kilometres. With these fires, the larger they get, obviously all of that heat rises and condenses and creates a thing known as a pyrocumulonimbus. And so that is when a thunderstorm is created purely from the fires. So that is an absolutely incredible thing to see, especially, if you're working, say, the one fire for the day, you can see it really grow. I think I was up at 25,000 foot and this thing was just towering over me. It's just lightning going off. But obviously you're clear of it, but just looking at it is incredible.
Do you think your rural upbringing has helped you in any way deal with this kind of very high pressure, high responsibility work?
I think growing up in a rural environment definitely has helped shape me in terms of, one, just getting on with it, and two, being able to, work on the fly. If something breaks, you need to fix it.
Can-do attitude.
That's exactly right. Yeah, yes, exactly.
Henry Phelps, a young Kiwi pilot helping to combat bushfires in Victoria, Australia. At latest count, more than 45,000 farm animals have died in the fires and 150,000 hectares affected.